We any good? Let me know if we lost connection or not. The one thing I do like about this is that when there's time for people to come in, join the chat. I don't like to do lives without everybody being here. So my whole thing, the shtick about the cigars in the beginning, gives time for everyone to come in, get acquainted, leave questions, and just let me know how they've been. That's what I like about the whole prepping the cigars business. What do we got here? What do we got? Some Alec Bradleys today. So welcome in, guys. Let me know if you could hear me. Got the microphone mic'd up. A little bit out of the Wi-Fi range, so we still should be good. Let's go with this one. Lineage. Lineage is kind of like legacy. What's up, Inked? What's up, Gary? Inked, I jumped in your live the other day. You didn't see me, but I saw you. So it was a good live. Glad to see you're still going. And oh, you know what? We might not be doing the lineage because I don't have a cutter. It's one of those ones with the little nipple on it. But if you guys notice, today's Sunday and I'm live again. I'm trying to stick to my word and just keep jumping on here and going live as many times as I can. And going in. John, what's up, brother? Glad you're here. Smoking the shisha. Sounds good, Gary. About to join you with one of these. It's the one thing I've never done. When I go out to England, me and you will smoke one together. H, what's up, brother? So yeah, we'll go with this one. Prisando. I can't pronounce it. I'm not cultured enough for that. But we are here today. I'm trying to answer. I'm having a hard time just making the videos, not just like being out of it, like mentally and stuff, but just like sitting down and making a video feels weird. Because I've been doing the lives more often and actually like helping people that I know in real life. So it's almost like missing that human element to it where you're just talking to a camera feels weird at times. But by the title of today's video, that's going to be the one question / topic / thing I wanted to talk about before is what you seek, you will find every time. And we got a nice Red Bull today, Karuba, aka green flavor. Let me hope that I have a punch today. I love that everybody sticks it out too with my whole like thing of getting ready. Oh, it's in my butt. All right, cool. Oh, I'm sorry I missed you. Hey, I got asked to be interviewed on a podcast. That's awesome, man. I can't wait to see it. Let me know when it's on, where it's at. We'll promote it over here too. There's mosquitoes out tonight, so I'm a little bit bit up. But I'm glad to see that. And on top of that, like Ink, that's another success story. I mean, just when I met you and like you, it was almost a wouldn't it be wonderful if like you were like online personality and you wanted to do things and stuff like that. You had your manifesting channel for a bit. I don't think you have it no more. But then you came into your own with the ghost hunting channel. You wanted to do acting, and then you had like all your life, and then you had like the little bit of acting and doing skits, and then you got to experience that. So it's funny, everything you want does play out, and it's just like that's your free will choosing. Oh, do I want to continue to go forward with this, or do I want to go forward with something else? And you chose the ghosted realm, and I think that's a good one. I think it suits you, and you're doing well. And man, that's a mosquito bite right on the bone. That sucks. It's gonna be really itchy. But let me light this up. If you guys got questions, ask them. I kind of like this format. It's kind of almost like a Naya thing where like she'll go and do the whole video and then answer questions at the end. I don't have a format. I'm just going with the flow. So, but I do want to talk about what you seek is what you find. And look, we're back at the throwback, back in my parents' garage. I'm picking up SP from the airport today, so we will. I have to be close to here. A slight box press to it. Gary, you could appreciate that. Man, there's a lot of fireworks. Kickboxer. Actually, last time we talked too, you were talking about Kickboxer being on TV, and I'm assuming it's in the location of your travels as well. Again, this door just inked. Can you do some ghost speaking? The door just like I'm sitting right by the door. See, and this is it wide open. It just went all the way open. If it does it again, we're haunted. Yeah, I'm trying hard. I'm trying to hard myself on every time I look at his profile, like stop looking stupid. Wait, I don't get that inquiry. You'll turn the box on. All right, let's see it. Let's see what you get. Um, and I don't know if you're talking about SP, but I thought that that situation was pretty good at the moment, unless you're talking about the podcast person's profile. We should talk to girls have been flocking in. That's awesome, Gary. I love to hear it. Yeah, I'm kind of like getting my bearings back together. After the competition and everything, I kind of went through some stuff, and then like this past month, staying dedicated to it. And as always, if you guys are still here, I'm extending out the 2 year offer because I didn't really get to. August was supposed to be a big month because it was the 2 year anniversary. So I wanted to do a whole bunch of videos and stuff and promote the discounted coaching and monthly coaching and stuff like that and get the website up and running. But there's been delays on all of it. You guys know me, I'm always delaying stuff. But that I'm extending that out for another month. Um, that's awesome about the podcast. I would love to watch some of your videos. Are you still the ghosted woman on TikTok, Inc? Because he could watch you live there. I've been to Insecure and I've been checking his profile, and I got mad at myself because I'm fearing and I know better. Yeah, exactly. You don't want to do that because, well, look at what are you doing here? Perfect. Thank you, Ink, because you just segued me into the topic. The topic is what you seek, you find. Number one reason, the number one place I learned that lesson was, like I said, I made my bones in manifesting through the specific person realm. Um, Checking social media. That's why being blocked is a blessing, but checking the social media. Why are you checking it? You are expecting to see a third party. That is the number one reason. Number two reason is just seeing evidence that they've moved on. Number three, just to see them and to remember that, well, those were good times, and you're looking at it from a remorseful, sad way that you no longer have it. Those are the only reasons you check a social media. When you're in a relationship with somebody, you don't check the social media. I don't check SP's social media. It doesn't affect me. And plus, you don't really post that much. But when she was posting and we've been together, I don't go look because I really don't care. It's like, okay, that's my girlfriend. I don't pay attention. But when you're not with them, you start looking. Why are you looking? You're looking to find something you don't want to validate your feelings of feeling bad. So you're letting your feelings bother you enough to where you go search for more stuff to create a negative spiral. That is when I talk about being the guardian of your mind. You are stopping it right there. It's like, oh, I have these thoughts. Maybe there's a third party and I want to check the social media. I want to check the social media. They seem like two separate thoughts. Those thoughts go together. You think there's a third party and you want to check their social media. They might appear separately, but really one is linked to the other, and then it wants you to take an action. That's why I said wherever you think, everything starts in your mind first. So if you're thinking negatively that your person has moved on and they're with somebody else, okay, what's my next logical step? Well, you've sold yourself on that idea. You've sold it in your mind. So when you go there, you're surprised and shocked and heartbroken because you see it and it's right in front of your face and it hurts. But at the same time, somewhere in you, you're not really surprised because you were expecting it. That's why I talk about fear and excitement and stuff like that. You're using the fear more than the excitement because fear isn't expecting of something bad. Excitement is preparing for something great to happen. So you're preparing yourself mentally, visualizing, creating. Ink, does that box on? Because the door just opened again. I'm just going to leave it open because there's a nice breeze out. So thank you to whoever opened it. Let me know if the planes and fireworks are too loud, though. Um, So anyway, what we know is what you seek, you find. And I mean, I've got stories of, and do not do this. Do not drive to their house looking and stuff like that. Or are they home? Why do you drive by their house? To see if someone else is over there. That's what you're doing. You know that's why you're going there. Why do you put yourself in the same place in the same areas as this person that you know that they might be? Because you're looking to run into them to force something to happen in the 3D instead of letting it unfold. And when you see them in the place where you forced yourself to be in the place and the time, what happens? You often 9 times out of 10 are going to get a negative reaction or sometimes a neutral reaction, or if it is a positive one, it will shortly lead to something negative right after. Why? Because you are forcing events, you are trying to create things with the underlying belief the entire time that this is not going to work and this is stupid and you have to do this to get that. That is why you fail, because you're expecting something bad to happen, because you're looking for failure, you're looking for misfortune to validate those feelings. So you're taking the experience, you're adding negative feelings to it. Those negative feelings are creating negative thoughts. Those negative thoughts are creating urges in you to go take inspired action to do something negative. And then you go do that, which is checking social media, driving by their house, putting yourself in their position. Then Next thing you know, 3D gives you a feedback of something shitty that you don't like. Then you get upset. Now you're playing that scenario by your head. And then you start thinking, maybe I could do this and maybe I could do that, and more ways of action. But all at the same time, you have fear and anxiety and doubt and belief that this is really not going to work. And then you put yourself and then you cycle it again, and then something else happens, and again and again and again and again. And then you're all the way down at rock bottom, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally. You don't give a shit about anything, and you've destroyed yourself because what you sought, you found. Every single time, whatever you seek, you will find. So now you're all destroyed, rock bottom, feel like garbage. What's the next thing that happens? All you could do from there is go up, or you could choose to keep yourself there. Then you start saying, you get one thing. You see, oh, I'm unblocked. Or you just, even if you don't have that, because that's a 3D thing happening first. The first thing you start thinking, imagine the good times that could happen in the future. Start forcing yourself, instead of forcing a situation, force yourself to change your thoughts, force yourself to change the way you expect the future to be. Go back and force yourself into a happy memory, because more often you're going to be reliving the traumatic memory. Force yourself into a positive memory. Relive it again and again and again, because if this is important to you, then discipline is going to get you there. Suffering is going to get you there, not in a bad way, but because you're going to suffer a little bit trying to put yourself in a good state, but you're going to force yourself, and it's going to be painful. Just like I always related all to working out, because that's the realm I come from. In working out, you are breaking your body down and doing something that's uncomfortable, and you're doing it again and again and again, persisting in it to get to the goal you want. The whole time visualizing what you want, but every day you're looking in the mirror and you look the same, you look the same, you look the same, look the same. And then one day you just keep your head down. And after a while, and like maybe you take a couple of days off or something, which is like the same when you're working out and you take a few days off, it's the same as manifesting and persisting in what you want and visualizing again and again and again. And then you're like, fuck it, I don't care. I'm letting this go. That's giving the manifestation room to come in. Just like when you work out, you're working out and that's tearing your muscles down, right? That's not where you build muscle. Working out to tear them down. Resting and trusting the process and waking up the next day is when you see the results. When you go to manifesting, it's like that persistence, that sticking to it, the doing the techniques. Those are the things that get you to where you need to be. But you won't see the results sometimes until you take a step back and like, cool, I trust it. I don't need to do anything else. Why don't you need to do anything else? Because you have already mentally given it to yourself, and you are now in a state of expecting. Let's go back. I saw some comments come in. Yeah, I checked out of fear, and I know that's what's wrong, was the wrong thing to do. I have work to do on self concept. Yeah, we all have work to do on self concept. That's never going to stop. I mean, look, even mine got rocked after the all time peak of my life. My self concept got rocked, and I threw myself down to rock bottom. Not to rock bottom, but pretty low this past month. And then what did I do? I would fight every Monday. I'm feeling negative and low self concept and stuff like that. And then I'm feeling like not a good coach. I'm just affirming I'm a good coach. I always like, and I'm like, and I'm in good shape, and I'm this and I'm that. And all these things I kept telling myself. And I'd wake up the next morning and then I'd be like, I look great before I even look in the mirror. Then I look in the mirror and it's like, even though I ate bad or I wasn't working out as hard as I could have at that time, I would actually be pleasantly surprised. Like, hey, my body looks decent. Or then I would be like, I'm a great coach. Success story, success story, success story, like at least 1 to 2 a week. Boom, they're coming in. I'm like, okay, cool. And then at the same time, too, I was like, money comes to me. And then the thing where me and Gary were having problems figuring out, like he was trying to help me figure out how to get the money from Discord. And I was like, well, I'll just accept the fact that maybe whatever, maybe I won't get it, or maybe I will. I know eventually I'll have it. And I just started thinking of it as another like bank account. It's just, oh, it's just in that bank account. And next thing you know, when we were live, you guys saw that one come in. The text message came in, hey, your money's been deposited. Oh, shit. Money went to my account. So then money came to me. So throughout the entire time of just feeling overall negative or like choosing to be negative in a situation, all I had to do was pick up, persist, 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 positive. When I saw the positive, latch onto it. Sometimes I would see it and be like, oh, that's nice. Thank you. Because it felt good to feel bad for yourself. We know this. It feels good to feel bad for yourself at times. Don't dwell in it. Ink, you taught me this, and I always give you credit for it. We're humans having a human experience, right? We all agree on that. But live in your emotions, feel your emotions a little bit. That's fine. That's normal. We're human. Feel your emotions. Feel like, if you want to feel bad, feel bad. Don't stay there, though. Remember, our emotions are states and we're travelers. You could stop in the state of depression, but hey, that ain't a good neighborhood. Get the fuck out of there soon. You go to that neighborhood to get what you got to get and get the fuck out. So, all right, let's go back to the questions. What's up, Mystic? It's nice to see you streaming more. Thank you, Shorty. Yes, I'm trying to be on here more. I'm trying to be more consistent with everything else and Discord and getting the website up. And, remember how I did the bodybuilding show? I was like, I just said, boom, I'm going to be a bodybuilder. And I threw myself in that state. I began eating that way, training that way, and it felt natural. So, okay, I'm going to be one of the greatest coaches out here. What does that entail? I'm going to be getting on here. I didn't feel like it the past few times, but once I get in, I get moving, I get acclimated to it. Boom, I'm good to go. Another thing I was trying to do is get the comedy career re-going again, and it's hard. And I keep affirming because I had struggled to write the jokes before. I had struggled to perform a few skits before, like in the recent year or two. It hasn't felt as natural to me. What I do, I started watching comedians I used to admire. I started rewatching old skits that I liked. I went back and looked at my old stuff. I went through my old writings and stuff like that. And I'm like, just sit down and write something. And it was garbage, garbage, garbage. And then I would just, you're horrible at this. You're horrible at this. We went to film the other day. I didn't even put a costume on or do anything, but it's like, you know what? That's actually a decent skit. Okay, cool. We could maybe use that. But still nothing, nothing, nothing. But you take that little bit, it's like, hey, my brother got into costume and performed a skit. Are we going to use it? Maybe, maybe not. Cool. Hey, I wrote half of a bigger script. Hey, I wrote a couple little skits. Okay, you're doing something. So I latch onto those little positives. Now, how does that feel to be a great comedian? It's like you amplify that. Maybe you only wrote one. I wrote one movie script and 10 little screenplays or 10 little short screenplays or whatever. You just amplify it in your mind. You know what you did. You know it really wasn't that, but then you put yourself in there. So now you're a better comedian. It's like I went live Monday, I think Monday, Wednesday, Friday. I think I went live 3 or 4 times this week. I'm telling myself I went live every day. I know logically I didn't, but a great coach is always going live. A great coach is always doing this. So until I get my bearings back to where I need to be, it's like, okay, that's where I am. And then I started having like bad money vibes for some reason. I was fine going to Los Angeles. Sorry, trying to keep this alive. My money wasn't bad or anything like that, but here's why I say be careful who you surround yourself with. I do believe anyone could change if you put the effort in, but when there's people that you've known for a long period of time, for instance, like when I talk to my dad, right? He's someone who's had a negative money mindset my entire life, and a lot of my negative money beliefs come from that person. So the more time I spend around him, it was you're financially destroyed, you're this, you're that, and all these things that are not true. They're absolutely 100% not true. But because I spend my money in different ways, and I've had the belief if I spend money, I make money. If I donate to people or I give to people or I help people, you're giving all this money away, you're giving all this money away. There are people who I've seen that were in need, and if I had it, it means I help people. And then it's like, oh, you don't. This is the same person who said you've never made a dime online. I said I will show you. I'm going to make more dimes than you could ever imagine. And in the past 2 years, I don't make enough money to, like you guys know this, I don't make enough to do this full time yet. I will use this, listen to terminology too. Yet. I don't make enough doing this to quit yet. And then the next goal is I'm going to make money through the comedy channel because that was the one that he was like specifically pointing out. Okay, you said the internet. Boom, I made money on the internet. Next thing, through the comedy channel. How do I do that? You become a comedian again. How do I become a better coach? You get more challenges, you overcome them, you live the lifestyle. You guys asked me the other day, Nick, what was your manifesting schedule? And I admitted I don't have one right now. And what's coming along with that? Those who don't plan to fail, those who fail to plan to fail, right? I didn't have a routine or anything. So then all of a sudden the depression started setting in and all this stuff. And I didn't have any goals, didn't know what I wanted to do. Boom, you guys saw me spiral out, but now look at you see me pick myself back up. And it seems like every time we come in the garage to do a video, there's like all this extra like motivation to it. Because we did have a really motivational one here like last summer, I believe. I've got the box on. We will see. Hello, I can't wait to see Ink. Ink, let me know. I see one of your messages got retracted. Let me know what it said. I've been taking a break from SP stuff for the last few months, and I've been taking care of my mental health. Been working on finding love for myself again. Still shorty, that's the number one thing. Because look at, why did I lose the SP every other time? Everyone, like, I mean, I always reference this because you always get jerk offs come in and be like, oh, why'd you have to manifest this many times? Because, motherfucker, because if you actually understood this, if you understood what I teach, if you understood the real law of assumption, if you lose the view of yourself, I'm being attacked by this bug. Uh, if you lose your positive self concept, then you cannot keep anything that you manifest in. I would be like, oh, I'm this, I'm that, I'm that. Okay, maybe this was just, like Neville said, this happened so naturally, you believe it would have happened anyway. Then you start thinking it's too good to be true, and then you start tearing yourself apart. Text me tomorrow, Inked. Yeah, I'll see. Inked, I just saw your message too. You said it called my name. I'm recording it. Inked, I'll talk to you in the morning. Send me a message or send me an audio message. I'll listen to it after the stream. Send me an audio message about what you picked up, and then I'll tell that maybe in another live tomorrow. But yeah, still shorty. Number one is your mental health. You want to keep your mental health on point, and you want to keep your self concept on point. I believe it's a blessing for the people who wait, not that they're choosing to, but the people who have to wait longer. Not that they have to either. I'm trying to find the right terminology for this. The people whose SP journeys take longer are more blessed and better at having a sustaining, I believe the odds are stacked against them, or stacked for them to have a more sustaining relationship in the long run because they had to spend all this time alone and it was painful, and you became stronger, you became more resilient and more self-confident, and you've built up this amazing version of yourself. I will have got to listen to it tomorrow. Yeah, Ink, send it to me because that's going to be cool. I think we should do one. Maybe I'll fly down to Florida in like 2 months. Could do a ghost walk with you. I think that would be pretty cool. I'm saying that now, and you know what? Here's a money mindset. I'm going to do that. The means will be there. Also, here, it's crazy. I think I told you guys this in the last one too. I said I wanted to go to Miami. I had no good reason to do it other than the couple mystics I knew that were over there and one going on vacation, and then my friends wanted to go and everything like that. We well, whatever it was, everybody started canceling and stuff like that. And I kept saying, I want something to prove other than the SP stuff, manifesting to people again, where I'm not just this guy who's like, oh, I manifested this person back into my life. Okay, let me give you more fucking receipts. So then it's like, hey, an opportunity came up to manifest a, what do you call it, a free trip to Miami with money, which I was working on money mindset too. So it's like, that's the thing I'm aiming for now. And then let's say that competition doesn't come in. Now you'd be destroyed because you set a timeline. I don't even know when the competition ends, to be honest. I just know they're supposed to email me if I get it, when I get it. But okay, you don't get it that way. What's to say somebody doesn't say, hey, I want you to come down here and do a seminar or whatever. I'm paying for your flight down and I'm going to pay you to do the event. If that happens, that could be another alternative. That's why I say the bridge of events, it's like, okay, all I have to do is imagine myself in Miami with the person who I'm going to travel with, which would be my brother, me and my brother in Miami. What are we going to do when we get down there? Well, I'm going to wear the Tommy Vercetti shirt. We're going to do some GTA Vice City videos. We're going to make funny content, make cool content. We're going to have some cigar. Well, he doesn't smoke anymore, but I'll have a cigar on the beach. We're going to walk that strip. And whatever it is, everything that needs to happen will play out. But let's say I really thought it was going to happen this way, and it doesn't happen that way. It's going to be an even better story when it happens the way it needs to happen. It will happen the way it needs to happen. But what am I looking for? What you seek, you find. I was looking for a trip to Miami. A free trip found its way into my reality. So there's no reason that that can't be for me because it's got everything that I'm asking for, money and a trip for two. So with the airline that I like to use. So that's just something else. What you seek, you find. If you guys got questions, drop them in. I took a picture of the board of all the video ideas I had, and I got a few on the notes on the desk still of video ideas that people have been asking me about making. So if I haven't gotten to something or a video that you requested, drop the thing and I'll drop a question and I will answer it now. Ooh, bonus. Still got some Red Bull. I'm curious to see what Ink's thing with the ghost says because Ink has a lot of good responses with the ghost chats. Somebody help me drive it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a quick live. I'm trying to think, what other topics did we have? What you seek, you find. Self-concept, obviously, we always talk about the self-concept. Maybe that's all that was meant. Maybe it was just meant to be a 25, 30-minute live instead of the usual one. But remember, the lives are your chance to ask me questions. Or, once we start picking up with more people in the Discord, even with the people we have now, though, it's just pretty much a close group of like people I already know in the Discord. We will, I want to do like the mastermind groups like once or twice a week where we sit down and we all go into one chat room and just me speaking and then, all right, take question. Who wants to go? And then whatever way. Or I'll call each person and see what they have to say. Almost like doing mini seminars a couple times a week. George, what's up, brother? I haven't seen you in a minute. I'm struggling with replaying the whole story and where I messed up. I don't know what's wrong, but I can't forgive myself for messing up. Well, George, remember, number one, you can't fuck this up, but it will feel like it, and all you can do is delay things. That's what I've learned, but that's what I've seen. Now, I will say, stuff that caused problems in my relationship recently, they're resolved now, but it caused a rift. That was one of the things that was like bothering me the past month. When I was training for the bodybuilding show, I was using the old story as fuel in the gym because on a low carb diet, I was exhausted. I didn't feel like being in there. I started doubting if I could do the show, this and that. So I'm like, dude, David Goggins, to pull from your painful memories. Most of my painful memories I was pulling from were recent years, which was SP related. So I was digging deep and I was like replaying the story and I was getting mad. I was having genuine mad reactions. And then I was just visualizing the story again and again and again and replaying it. It started reflecting in the relationship and she started acting different and we started like arguing a little bit and then she was like, thinking that she's not good enough for me and stuff like that, and I don't want to go too much into all the stuff that was going on, but like it was just like it was causing all these things where I was like, look at me. I was, but then it was also reflecting where it's like reflecting in the way where like she's thinking, oh, she's not good enough for me or she can't keep up with me because all the stuff I'm doing. And I'm looking at myself as like this super, super like great guy and stuff like that. Like I am the man. Maybe I am too good for this. And then when the workout's over, I'm back to normal. I'm hanging out with her and stuff like that. But those thoughts, even though they were small little thing, 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours at night, that's 4 hours a day. Sometimes it's playing in the car ride to work because I was working out before work. And then on the way to work, I'm getting myself in the mind for the gym so that I'm in there. So really, it's about 6 hours a day. And then if you're taking naps throughout the day or you're going to sleep and those thoughts are still playing in your head, that's another like 5-6 hours of it. So you have to be careful with it. And the way to kill off the old story is to get lost in good memories. Now, George, for you, I would suggest scripting. I don't know if scripting has worked for you before or if you've tried it, but scripting is a disciplined way to sit down. I'm not moving until I get off this paper. How dedicated am I to getting this manifestation? I'm going to sit down and I'm going to write a story that makes me feel good. Maybe I would say start out with this. Start out revising that story on a piece of paper. And you can reread it as much as you want. You can put it away until you memorize it. And that should bring you down. I've used this with clients before where they revise the bad event and it calms them down. Then I want you to every night journal about how your day went with SP and how your day went with what you wanted. How the day worked out in your favor. So like everything that went through your day that was positive, put that in your journal. Then put in the things that like the things that you wish would have went better, but have them revised throughout the day. And then stuff that didn't happen with SP, if SP is not in the picture, write those things down, what you would have liked to experience and how she would have fit into your day. That would be how I go forward, because that way you have to sit down and the only time she's on your mind is when you're writing it. Or like, and then on top of that, you will put so much effort because you're writing and you're focusing and you're picturing and you're sitting down for a long period of time with something on paper. You're going to be too tired to think anything but the opposite. And then later on, when you think about it, it's like you're going to be inundating your mind so much with things that are positive that you're going to forget the negative, and that way the positive has taken over. So I would suggest scripting for your situation. If it doesn't feel natural, you could try robotic affirming. For me, I don't like it as much to consciously do it. It's something I struggle with. I do like the Parrot app. So if you want to put the Parrot app with some music and self-concept plus SP things, then I would say go with that. I think scripting would work in that situation. But it's your permission slip. If you give yourself that permission slip as the thing that's going to help benefit you, then that's what will be it. Hold on, this looks like a great thing right here. Nangam, what's up? I haven't seen you in a minute either. I manifested my SP back, and I believe I'm a different version of me. But how do I avoid repeating the past of not being chosen, staying in being his priority? Well, Dan, first of all, that makes me really happy because I remember probably a couple months back was when you were in here and you were asking a bunch of questions and stuff like that, and now boom, it's come into play. Another person like with success. So that makes me happy. Like I said, I want to see you guys succeed, and I want to see you do better than me because that means I'm doing a good job. So, and it means you're happy, and then you're going to pass this along, and then they're going to help someone. So, my advice from being someone who got the SP and feeling like a different person, but then losing multiple times, kind of what we touched on earlier, self-concept. So let me puff this and go. Hold on. Okay, so here's my advice on that. Keeping your self concept when keeping yourself on track after manifesting the SP could be hard, but it all goes back down to your self concept. You said you believe you're a different person now, which you are. Let's go to the teachings of Bashar. Every moment, now, we're a different person because we're choosing, but it's whatever we're repeatedly choosing to be, right? So you need to keep repeatedly showing up for yourself to be the person that you did to get here. Remember, you've shifted into a reality now where that person loves the person that you've become, and you have to truly love the person you've become for this. How do you keep elevating that person? How do you keep becoming a better version of the person you've become? Does that person take care of her body better, work out, eat right? What does she do for hobbies? Keep yourself as a priority. Keep the relationship as a priority too, because obviously then, okay, now you're in the relationship and it's like things feel a little bit different. So what does the perfect girlfriend of Nan do? What does the perfect version of Nan do for herself? So if you have hobbies, keep doing your hobbies, because a lot of times we get into hobbies and stuff like that that we've missed doing for a long time on the SP journey to keep our minds busy and to elevate ourselves and to build our self-confidence. But then you go into the honeymoon phase when they come back. It's like, oh, wow, they're back. But then guess what? SP becomes focus, because now it's here and it's different. It feels a little bit different, but it also feels natural because, okay, I was manifesting this and visualizing it and imagining it. So it feels natural because I've just brainwashed myself so much into believing it before it happened. Now it's here, but there's a little bit of a different feeling when it's like more excitement when it's in your reality. So it's amazing. Number one, also, not I already said number one, but also stop fearing losing it, because what you fearing losing it is also seeking losing it. What you seek, you find. The topic of today, what you seek, you find. So stop thinking you're going to lose it. Put in your mind that, like, I've manifested this, I can manifest anything. The first time I manifested SP back, I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Then, part of you thinks it's a fluke. The second time, it's like, this is awesome. By the third time, it's like, wait, maybe this is impossible. I don't think you can do it more than 3 times. Fourth time, it's like, okay, this is pretty cool. By the fifth time, like, I think it ended with 6 times or whatever, I realized no matter how many times this ends, I could bring it back. And then what did I learn from all those things? Is to end your thoughts, your mind, and yourself are the most important thing. The world is a mirror. Your SP is a mirror. Your SP is reflecting back your thoughts of yourself and that relationship. So keep your thoughts of that relationship and yourself high, positive, and loving, and it will continue to reflect that way. When things go bad in the relationship, not when, if things were to go bad, you keep your mind in a positive state. How is this working out in my favor? Like, remember, one of the time, like the last time when we became official, because I was like, I don't know if this is what I want, but I'm like, when it's time for what I want, this was my thought I had. It will make it obvious. We wound up getting in a fight one night because we were still unofficial. Like, remember, because we did that live in December, and then by I think it was January, February, we were official. Because I still didn't know what I wanted. But I was like, when it's time, it will be obvious for me. We get in a fight, and then she's like, I'm gonna walk out that door. I'm like, it sucks. I don't care if you do, because one in my head, I'm like, I know that if she walks out, she'll be back. But at the same time, too, here's what else I thought. Everything's working out in my favor. How is this argument working out in my favor? Argument turned out to lead to a relationship. Well, I don't want to walk out the door. Well, I'm like, I don't want you to, but I'm fine walking out the door, and I'm fine if you do. Well, do you want to be in a relationship? Yeah, I do. Okay, then let's just be. That was just kind of like how it went. It was funny. It was almost like a sitcom, but I believed when the time was right, then I would know if this was the right thing to do, because I didn't know. It's like, should I choose a perfect SP or should I continue on this path? And I was kind of at a crossroads in life because like I manifested this person back so many times, blah blah blah. At the end, it was my self concept and the self concept of being cool enough to let her walk out the door genuinely, not just saying it, genuinely. I'm going to be fine and going to love my life no matter what if you walk out that door. And her genuinely being fine with doing it was almost like a way to flow, like, okay, well, I know you're like, my true heart's desire was to be with her then. It was like it kind of unlocked at that moment. And then it was like reflected back by her. So, so that's where we're at. Let's read what you said. And now I have a lot of guys being super interested in me and really reflecting how I want to be treated. Then SP returns, yes, I don't want to give up on what I've been doing. Yes, you're right about the excitement. It's different this time. My excitement is different. That's where I'm at. What you're describing. Okay, perfect. Yeah. So this is what the thing is. Like I've always said, all these experiences, they're happening for a reason. I've gone through every single situation you could go through with an SP with this particular person. And I always wondered what made me stay. What was the draw? It's like, is it the nostalgia? Is it the memories? Is it just like, I don't know, it was a unique situation? Is it because she's a physical representation of manifestation appearing in my reality? At the end of the day, there's no right or wrong answer. I could drop her tomorrow and be with somebody else or be with nobody else. And that's the right answer. I could be with her for the rest of my life, and that's the right answer because there's infinite realities. I could choose to be with nobody for the rest of my life, and that's the right answer. Every decision you make, if you're convicted to it or it feels to your highest passion and it excites you, that's the right move. So for you, is this guy light up your world? Is he the highest passion? Now you said you're being pursued by multiple guys. Okay, I was being pursued by multiple girls at the time. She had come back around, and I was cool with being with nobody. So then they were all. It was like almost that thing. It's like, why do you think all these players and girls who get a bunch of guys, which I'm not going to say the word because unfortunately it's a double standard, but it's like so these people who are highly in the sexual marketplace desired, they have a mindset and an expectation that they should be treated well because that's how they treat themselves. Everybody else follows suit. Now you have the pick of the litter, if you will. Like, do you want to be with SP or do you not? I can never make the call for you, and I refuse to make the call for anybody because I can only look at facts and logistics from one end and only things you've told me. Only you know your heart. Only you know what feels right and lights you up with excitement. Everybody could sit here and tell me about this, that, and the other about my SP, but only I know that relationship. Only I know what lights me up with excitement. So, sorry. Only I know the best thing for me, just like only you know the best thing for you. And like I said in yesterday or the other day's live, the like I could guide. My job as a coach is to guide you on how to use the tools of manifestation. It is you to search your soul and your higher self to tell yourself what is the right thing. But when you realize that every decision is the right decision, as long as you're going off your highest passion, you'll be fine. Go with what excites you the most. A lot of desires I had came true because I did the bodybuilding competition. That came to me just as a high passion to go that way. Now my soul is getting lit on fire just to keep working out and doing the bodybuilding stuff. It's getting lit on fire to do more lives and become a better coach. And it's like, so I mean, there's like three directions. Okay, how do I balance it? What's the first obtainable thing? Like that's where anxiety came in and was kind of fucking me up too. I got so many passions. Choose the one that's the right. Like I learned this one from Bashar too. Whatever excites you the most at that moment is exactly what you need to be doing at that moment. So tonight, I could have filmed videos or went live or went back to realistically, I'm not going back to the gym because I killed it so good today. But I could have went back to the gym. I could have hung out inside with my family while I was waiting for Lily to come back on the plane. Or I could have like there's a bunch of things I could have did. What lit my soul on fire and got me excited was thinking to come out here and do a live. That was I'm in the right place at the right time because it feels right. Tomorrow morning, I was planning to go to what do you call it? The Renaissance Fair with Lily, but I was also invited to her family's house. My family wants to do a cookout. Um, we got a live stream to do tomorrow, and I've got to hit the gym. So there's a whole bunch of things going on. In the morning, when the time comes, My passion will direct me to what I need to do, and it will be the right decision. So that's how I would say to take that. I've manifested him back so many times too. This time I'm like, what can I do different? Other times when he came back, I'm like obsessed with him. This time I'm cool with anyone or no one. SP lights up my heart. So, man, from my personal experience, if he lights up your heart and he is your highest excitement, from just what you've told me, and my only advice would say, go with your heart. If your heart is there, go with that. Or if it's with somebody else or wanting to be alone, then go with that. That's my way I could describe it to you. I'm gonna try scripting. I thought my self concept was great until I tried reaching out to see if she wanted to talk, and she said no, thank you. So I spiraled for a bit, but want to get myself back up. George, that's the best, and the only thing you can do is pick yourself up. Because at the end of the day, even if SP is showing up and she's being the most supportive, loving version of herself, you still go to sleep alone. If she's in your bed, you're still alone with your thoughts. You wake up alone with your thoughts. You came into this world with your thoughts, and you will leave this world with your thoughts. It is you and your consciousness first. So what you want to experience, you focus on in your mind. You stay to your self-concept. You stay to your hobbies. You stay to your passions. When you reach out, like I said, there's nothing wrong with reaching out first, because I've done that twice. She's reached out twice, and it has happened on its own in weird ways twice. I don't know why I'm getting no smoke out of this, but there's been all different ways. Nothing wrong with reaching out first, but are you reaching out because it's like, wow, my self concept's good and I feel great and I feel relaxed, I feel calm, I could picture us together, but I'm still having doubts and I don't trust that this is going to unfold. So let me just give it a little nudge. Okay, you're giving it a nudge, and it's like, I can say, oh, she said no, thank you. It sounds like no big deal, but I've been in that position. It hurts like a motherfucker. It will send you on the spiral. I'm not going to be like these coaches. What? So what did they say? It doesn't matter what they said. It's just circumstances don't matter. It's like, yeah, I could sit here and yell like a jerk off all day, like the circumstances don't matter. I understand what that is. I understand how it is the spiral. I understand how it is to be absolutely broken, because a simple line like that can fucking throw you the fuck off. But at the end of the day, you got to look. It is just a line said to reflect back in the mirror that, okay, something was a little off. I mean, look at, use bodybuilding again as an example. You could show up to a show and you think you're dialed in and you think you're number one and you feel like you should win the show, but somehow you don't win the show. How do you justify that? Did you come in your absolute best shape and really believe that you deserve to be there and really thought you had it in the bag? Yeah? Okay. Then you showed up and you did everything you were supposed to do. Break it down, reevaluate, reassess. How can I improve next time? What can I do to get better? Okay, oh, I could do this and do that. Let me try that. Let me readjust and dial in. Oh, that didn't work either? Okay, let me go back again. Is this goal still worth it to me? I mean, look at the guy who I met, who I want to do a podcast with. I should follow up on another email with him. But Tom Platz, the bodybuilder who judged the show I was in, for over about 10 years, maybe over, he was focused on being Mr. Olympia. He had all the odds against him. But he's a big manifesting guy too. A lot of people in the bodybuilding industry are big into spirituality and manifesting, which is why I love being a part of that culture. But for 10 years, he strived for it, but he never got the trophy. He had like a trophy case built for it. He had everything done. The man is 69, 70 years old at this point. He has everything that a Mr. Olympia has, and he is the biggest legend, probably, in my opinion, at least the top 5 biggest legends or top 3 biggest legends still in the sport. Everyone was like, oh, it's Arnold. Arnold's a sport. Arnold's a fucking jerk off, cheater, liar, asshole who nobody respects anymore. Look at it. Just look at how he's like, he was seen as the guy for the longest period of time. He had like the most Mr. Olympias. Someone with a pure heart who stayed dedicated, got all the accolades and more in the long run. Tom has all the respect and love and admiration as a Mr. Olympia and is known as a living legend in the sport, but he never got the title. But he stayed on his self-concept, and he went through periods of darkness and depression and all this stuff. And that's why I think it's going to be great to have him on the podcast, like do a roundtable with him, because that's someone who could justify that it did not unfold the way he wanted. By all means, he is known as the uncrowned Mr. Olympia. So just because he doesn't have the trophy doesn't mean that the fans and people of the sport don't see him as that Mr. Olympia. So that's just one little example. I hope that's a little bit motivational. That's exactly it. I thought it was great. I was gravy. Turns out I need to do more work. Exactly, George. Not bad. Nothing but, just readjust. It's like, okay, cool. When your self-concept's really on point, it's like, all right, I don't need to send her any messages first, but if I want to, like for me, I said I took 4 days. It's like, no, if this feeling, it's desperation. It's desperation. It's desperation. Why is this feeling? Okay, fine. If it stays till tomorrow, I will send a message first. And on the fourth day, I'm like, man, this feeling is still even more burning. Okay, it's not desperate because I'm like, I went 1 day, 2 days, 3 days without sending a message and it did nothing for me. But it's just like, no, she needs to talk to you. She needs to talk. Okay, so spend that time alone in the quiet and focused on you, and spend a lot of time in reflection, in meditation, speaking to your higher self. Speaking, like, it might be corny and cheesy, praying to God, whatever. Like, people will be like, oh, that's just corny. And what are you hearing voices? No, it's not hearing voices. You get a knowing. And it's like, I've had conversations with God. I've had conversations with Jesus. I mean, it doesn't matter what religion you are, but for me, that's my background, what I believe in. And it's like, I've had those conversations. I've felt that unconditional love. I've had with my higher self, with all these things. I've communicated that, and I really got to know myself and what I want while alone. So take this time as a blessing. Say, okay, this unfolded this way for a reason. Ask yourself, George, how is this working out in your favor? And you'll find an answer. 2-2, what's up, my brother? How do you make an SP fall in love with me when I'm in no contact? Don't you usually do this on Mondays? 2-2, yes, I do usually do it on Mondays. 1 second. This cigar is like not like sucking in good. Needs a better suck on it. Ah, that's what it was. I'm sitting here giving this thing the old hock too, and I ain't getting no draw out of it. Yeah, 2-2. I usually do it on Mondays, but one of my things is I'm talking about changing who I am to be an even better coach. One of those things is, okay, get on live more. And I've been looking for an excuse to go on live more. It's like this week kind of forced me into it. SP went on vacation with a friend. They went over to the Grand Canyon, and it's like perfect thing. What are stuff I've been putting off? Spending time with my brother, getting back in my comedy career, pushing some really good workouts, getting time to meditate and doing more lives and becoming a better coach. So that all kind of came to me there. And your question was, how do you make the SP fall in love with you while you're in no contact? So first of all, no contact is a circumstance, which circumstances don't matter. However, it feels real and it hurts. What is your only option? What is the only thing you have to work with? I'm giving you this question right now, Tutu. It's, what is the only thing you have to work with? Your mind and your imagination. So, and you have to come to the understanding, whatever you imagine and you stick to, and whatever vision you hold in your mind persistently will become fact. It will harden into fact in 3D reality. I can't explain why. I know from experience. I read the stuff, I experimented with it, and it happened. I would say start with mini manifestations. Build your faith in manifesting. And when you're asking questions like, how do you make SP fall in love with you? You have an assumption she doesn't love you. Just because the person's not with you doesn't mean that they don't love you. Put that in your head too. Maybe she does. And because in another parallel universe, there is one where you're together. You want to shift into that reality, right? Let's shift the movement. Okay, the only way you get yourself to another place and another time is mentally. You need to get yourself in the right frame of mind where it's like, okay, the person who is with SP and who is loved by SP, how do you feel? What does being loved by SP make you feel? Because the only thing you can control is your feelings, your emotions, and your thoughts. How are your thoughts? How are your emotions? How are your feelings? What is your day-to-day life? How is your life when you're with SP? How does having SP in your life make your life better, worse, or whatever? So being unblocked and being in that relationship and having her love you, how does that make you feel? Give yourself those feelings first. The world is a mirror, so she will have to reflect what you're feeling about yourself. But don't do this to get her to love you. And let me make this is like something that I need to clip or like keep out there, because at the end of the day, this specific person journey, this manifesting journey, the whole thing is a self-love journey, a self-elevation journey. We go through these hardships to make ourselves the better ideal versions that we need to be. Because once we reach that, they come to us. That specific person comes to us. The money comes to us. The opportunities come to us because we feel worthy of it. The most confident people, the most successful people feel worthy of the success they have, feel worthy of the people that pursue them because they've built themselves into that character, that avatar of life. You get to choose who you want to be in this life. And just because something bad happened to you doesn't mean you have to choose to be a victim forever. You can be hurt, you can feel bad, and you could feel like not your best self, but choosing to stay there is your choice. Choosing that that's the end is your choice, or choosing for it to be a bridge to get you to where you need to be, that's also a choice. You need to choose to see this world as, and this situation as, an opportunity to get you to where you need to be. Okay, this needed to happen, and I can't wait to see why this happened. I wonder how it's working out in my favor. Wouldn't it be wonderful if she loved me now? Not if. Wouldn't it be wonderful that she does love me? So those are the things. You put yourself in that state. You have only control over your mind and your emotions. Let's go to Marcus Aurelius now. The only thing man has a control over is his thoughts and his actions. Have the most positive, upright, loving thoughts and actions that you can. What you want to experience in life, you give out to the world. Positive thoughts, loving thoughts. Someone cut you off in traffic, bless them and hope that they get to their destination fast. You got a boss that's a jerk off, stand your ground, don't get bullied, but then later on go back and you bless them and then say, you know what, I forgive them, whatever. And you have and you smooth that argument over. Whenever you argue with someone, that stuff tends to project into reality. That's why it feels good to have a mental argument with someone. It feels good to fucking, go at it in your mind and win that argument. But then it has no choice but to push into reality. Everybody who I've ever argued with or talked shit to in my life, in my head first, I have had that argument. Every relationship breakup or whatever negative thing with another person that's happened, it happened in my mind first. I could go back, I could trace it, I could tell you where, when, how, and then where, when, and how it played out. Almost identical every single time. The world is a mirror. Done a bunch of mini manifestations. I manifested seeing a baby blue car the other day. It's possible. I gotta get SP off the pedestal. 100%, George. Put her off the pedestal. Put yourself on that pedestal. Facts. I didn't feel worthy of marriage, and that's why I am where I'm at now. Well, start feeling worthy of it. Okay, George, you're married to SP. What does tonight look like? Are you allowed to be? Are you allowed to be on this live right now with me? If you're in that relationship or marriage, or is she like, George, get yourself into bed, come clap these cheeks? Like, is that what life's like? Is marriage with her? Okay, cool. To put that in your head, be like, man, I'm gonna watch the rest of Nick and the Mystic live, and then I'm gonna go bust SP's cheeks. Now you might be going home just firing into a sock, or just imagining you're with SP, but then you fall asleep relaxed. That okay, as you go to sleep, in your head, oh, you just banged SP, you're laying there, you're falling asleep, you wake up in the morning, you're grateful she's there. No one in the bed. I've done this. There's nobody in the bed, but you're thankful that SP is in the bed. You get up and you don't fucking turn around. You don't look at it because you know it's not there, but hey, it's there. She's there. Walk yourself to the kitchen and go get your coffee, your water, whatever you're getting for the day. I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head. I'm thankful I've got money in the bank. I'm thankful that SP and me are married. I'm thankful that whatever you want. Picture that life. Live that life in your imagination and your meditations on the spare chances you get. When you're dedicated to it in your mind, it has no choice but to push out in reality. But don't be afraid and stop yourself from living. Go out another event. You have to remember, okay, you're in the 3D world, and yes, we're living in our imaginations and our fantasies or whatever, or people say delusional or whatever. We're living there, but we're not missing life. Someone invites you to a party. It's like, I would like it if SP was here at this party. SP's there at the party in your mind. Oh, at the end of the night, revise it, or like periodically throughout the party. Oh, how is it that? Oh, maybe have an inner conversation with SP real quick, and then that's it. Drop it. Oh shit. Drop. I meant drop the story, not the cigar, motherfucker. Ugh, tastes like ground. Anyway, hopefully that helped. I lost my train of thought, which means that was all I had to say. Yeah, exactly. Okay, perfect. Cool. So we got that. Damn, are we at an hour already? See, look, we were struggling for 25 minutes. Now we're nearly at an hour. Do we have any more questions, guys? Whatever you want to ask. These are the times. I'll probably be live probably late tomorrow night, afternoon time or late at night. If not, for sure Tuesday night. I'm trying to just be live as much as I can. Take requests. If you comment on videos, I might not always reply, but I'll get little notifications. I'll see them. And if I have time, I'll go back and comment on them. Otherwise, we'll start wrapping this up. We got 4 more minutes. So with the closing stuff, if you guys want coaching, I'm extending out the sale to the end of September that I was doing. Instead of 150 per session, it'll be 100 per session. Send me an email or book on Calendly. There'll be links on the apps and in my link trees. Or send me a message on Instagram, flex_Lassiter, mysticmanifesting@gmail.com. If you want the monthly coaching too, I've discounted that. Instead of $1,500 a month, it's $1,000, and that's texting access to me and what's it called? Texting access to me 2 sessions a week, and a manifesting outline and stuff like that. So if you want that, let me know. If not, I'm going to be live more often. Bring your questions for sure. We do them on Mondays. We got the Discord. I'm trying to remember to plug everything, but I'm not the best at plugging. I'm not really a salesman. I'm someone who, I think Neville said, don't ask me about politics. Don't ask me about none of this. But you could ask me about manifesting, and that's what I know. That's what I know. No questions. As always, I have all the answers I need. There you go, brother. Life is good and peaceful, and I'm in the right state I need to be right now. There you go, John. I love it. That's where you need to be. Here's a pretty good cigar here. I think I still got enough left too. So once I hang this up, I'll sit down in here and meditate. Blast it. What is the fastest way out of no contact? Okay, Tutu, let me stop you right there. Here's a good question. We ain't going to stop in 3 minutes because it's going to take me a second now. Looking for the fastest way indicates fear, indicates lack of belief. I cannot tell you the time it takes. I've done stuff that I thought was fast. I could tell you to you can set a time crunch. I've done it and I've manifested on a time crunch. Okay, by Halloween, 2 Halloweens in a row, by a certain day, by this event, whatever. Things have unfolded and happened in a time crunch. You have to be very strong-willed on the time crunch, right? Mama Delia, what's up, Nick? Or you said Nick, what's up, Mama Delia? A time crunch, it can be done. You have to be willing to not break if it doesn't happen on that day, because you will lose faith if it doesn't happen on that day. There have been times where it happened the next day, the next 2 days, 3 days later. If I would have freaked out, it would have just delayed it and delayed it and delayed it. The fastest way out of no contact, Tutu, is to have inner conversations right now, to experience a relationship with your SP right now in your mind. Manifesting isn't, there you go. I do that too all the time, Courtney. The fastest way out of no contact is to give it to yourself now, to feel that it's there now. It has no choice but to push out in reality the more you believe it's true. So you're not doing these techniques to get something. The things you get are a byproduct. The money, the resources, the specific people, the love, the admiration, that is all a byproduct of self-love, self-belief, positive thinking, and a structured belief of how you are perceived by the world. If you want to talk to, why do fights play out? Why do breakups play out the way that you imagined them and feared them happening? Because that was manifesting. Why can't you reverse engineer that? How does it feel right now to be unblocked? How does it feel to be in contact? Watch my videos, Tutu. I know you're kind of newer to the channel. Go back. I've covered all these things. Go back to the ones where I talk about being blocked, being in no contact. I don't know how I labeled them or whatever, or my first video or stuff like that, but I would always have inner conversations. I got an hour-long one about how to manifest your SP back, and I got my first video, how to manifest back 5 times or whatever that shit was. I was having inner conversations before I had my SP. We were like, whatever I would have texted her throughout the day, or I saw something to remind her, I would say that, I would respond in my head to myself as her, and then I would go back and forth, back and forth. And then every night as I went to sleep, I was having inner conversations with us in bed about how it was about breaking up. And the next thing you know, it plays out. I'm so happy to see you. I had so many inner conversations come true today, like 5 minutes after I thought about them. There you go, Courtney. Hey, I had a crazy one too. Um, I had a crazy one too. Come to be, I was filling up my tires in the Walgreens parking lot because I had some flats, not flats, but they were going low. Fill them up in the Walgreens parking lot. Next thing you know, I'm like, wouldn't it be crazy if a cop comes up here and it's like, "What are you doing here?" Because it's almost closing time. And I hear woo, 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 like I'm like, "Oh shit!" And I look up expecting it, but a cop flew by. But I was picturing a cop car with the lights on and stuff like that. And I turn around, not even a second later, it's there. Things happen quick. So to answer your question, Tutu, the more you believe it's going to happen quick, the more you believe it can happen, the more it's going to happen. But I cannot tell you a time or a place. In the Bible, Jesus couldn't say it. In Neville's teachings, he couldn't. Joseph Murphy couldn't. Florence Scovel Shinn couldn't. I can't. Nobody can tell you the how or the when. You are the only one who could say, I'm going to set it to happen at this time, and it's going to happen at this time. And if it doesn't, I'm not going to break. Because I've set time crunches that have failed, but I didn't break. I would only set a time crunch when I knew it's not going to break me. I've broken no contact by doing the Neville ladder technique where I make the opposite happen. I've had to use different techniques, but at the end of the day, focus on the end scene of the relationship, not just contact, bigger picture, not so much contact, in my opinion. Exactly, man. That's a good point to make too, because you can manifest out of no contact and that. But then I wasn't getting a relationship either. I was getting the friends with benefits, or she tried to friend zone me, and then I had to break out of the friend zone thing, and that took about 2 weeks to do. But then that moved into friends with benefits, and then it was like, how do you get that full relationship that you want? It's the end scene where, like Neville says, where do we start? We start at the end. So, to Tutu's question, can you tell me what your relationship looks like in the end? Exactly what you want. What does it feel like? What are you doing? Yeah, see, man, and I think that's a great point that she made too. That thank you for making that, because that's really good. Because we need what's it called? We need to know exactly what we want. That's the number one rule of manifesting. Today, my SP and I went out to eat, and I wore his favorite colored shoes, and we spent all day together. And he didn't say anything, and I was like, I heard him say, "Look at those shoes," and say, "I already see where it's going." I love it, Courtney. People will say and act and do whatever you expect when you believe that it's possible. 2 seconds later, he said, "Look at those shoes." There you go. It's almost like that thing when you see like a homeless guy walking towards you, or a crazy person, and they're like, and they're doing all this shit, and it's like, this motherfucker's gonna say something to me. Every time you think that, they say something to you. Like, you'd be walking through a park, and this is one. Was it the other day? I was in the car with SP. We were having a discussion. It was like a deep discussion. It was stressful. It wasn't really about us, but it was about something else that we were dealing with. And I'd say I'm human too. I was annoyed with whatever we were talking about. And I'm like, this motherfucker's gonna say something. A quick thought that went through my head while I'm still in the middle of something, and I had my window cracked a little, and I'm like, I'm not rolling my window. Dude starts saying something to me, and I'm like, if he says this, I'm gonna say that, and then, like, I just lit up with anger because I knew it was gonna happen. It was more or less I'm yelling at him to get the fuck away from me, when really I'm mad at myself because why the fuck did you think that? Because now he had no choice but to say it. The world is a mirror. But I think if we don't got any more questions, give it another minute or so on questions, and then we'll wrap up. Now, my aim for tomorrow, too. Today, we had the exact day down to the times and activities I used to have with Santa SP. There you go. And there's a thing, too, that goes for Nan's question, too. I mean, it seems like, I don't know, but it seems like maybe Courtney has chosen the new SP over the old one because she sees the value, and maybe that she likes the new one better. You could choose whatever it's the right choice. if Courtney chooses to be with the new SP versus the Santa, or if she chooses the Santa over the new, they're both the right choice. Everything's the right choice if it lights up your passion. I've learned to fall in love with myself with every breakup. That's what I loved about this. The process is a self-love process. The only thing I can say about manifesting and an SP journey and all this stuff is it is a process to love yourself. It is a gift. The pain is a gift. The hardships are a gift. Enjoy the process. It's easier said than done. Looking back from the other side, enjoy the process. Every time I was working on comedy with my brother, and it's like I was depressed doing it because of like trying to learn manifesting while going through the stuff with SP or going through things where I was like working dead end, not dead end, but like shitty jobs. And it's like I was in a bad place every time I tried comedy. But looking back, those are some of the best times of my life. But I didn't enjoy them at the time. So enjoy the time you have now. Enjoy the building process. Enjoy learning to find out who you are, what you love, your passions, and doing things and experimenting. Enjoy failures. Enjoy stumbling. Enjoy learning. Enjoy the process. Long story short, enjoy the process because you're going to look back and be like, man, if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be as strong and as good as I am now. This has built one hell of a fucking unbreakable character. I have a question. Are you doing lives at night now? Is this a new schedule? Because I want to make sure I catch you and I don't get notified. I don't know why the notifications aren't going off. Lily told me that too, that she doesn't always get the notifications. And he told me that too. Courtney, right now, I don't really have a schedule. I'm aiming for Monday morning still, but I'm trying to do as many lives as I can. I want to, I'm thinking to get another phone so I could, or reactivate an old phone because I got a hotspot on this one so I could just, the old one's battery's kind of shot. So I might put a new battery in the old phone and use it like an iPod, hit it with the hotspot so I could go TikTok here with this one up and then this one on the side and hit YouTube. So get them both at the same time and go multiple times a week. Yes, preach it. I'm trying. I try. There's really no rhyme, no reason, Courtney. It's just I'm just following the passion. If it feels right, I'm doing it. But I think we'll wrap it up there, guys. Um, I love you very much. Keep your heads up. I know it could be rough, but it is a journey, and love the process. Love that you're becoming who you need to be. I was happy to see you. Well, I'm happy to see you too, Courtney. I'm happy to see all you guys. Thank you all for coming in. I do like the nighttime ones too, or the weekend ones, or the middle of the night. I'm thinking to do Midnight Mystic again, here and there, because like that's more for like the people across the pond. Um, just because we get everybody in, and that's a wrap. Yes, thank you. That's a wrap. We'll cut it there. So I love you guys very much. Keep your heads up. Great stream always. Thank you, and thank you too, John. Thank you for always being one of the people here. So when you get back with so when you get back with SP and something from the old story happens, what do you do? Oh, we got one more question, and then I'll sign off. And it's Erin here. Love her too. Erin was here, but she had to put the kids to sleep. We'll do this one more question, and then we'll sign off. When you're with SP and something bad happens, ask yourself, this is what I've done. How is this working out in my favor? How is this working out to better the relationship? Focus on that instead of like, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Everything is working out in your favor and you can't fuck this up. The things I say all the time. Every bad thing is a good thing if you look at it from a good perspective. Okay, this happened. Why did that happen? How does that work out in my favor? What can I learn from this? What was I thinking? Watch how you could work it. Change the script as you go through it. Like we said, we're the movie makers of our life. This guy improved, but I can't go back. How can I write the story to change that improv back to the scene, back to the end story that I want? Well, make sure I still want this end story. What does that look like? Okay, I see that scene. How do we get around this? So just using the imagination to get around it, but don't think about or not even that because sometimes like if you're really stuck in it, you could use it to get around it, but it's harder because then you're still thinking of it. The best thing is go to the end. How do you feel that this didn't happen? This event that didn't happen? Okay, cool. I mean, I've gone through this before, and it sucks. Like I mean, and because when you're in a relationship, I mean, even manifesting or not, I don't know if there's other people who like, oh, I've never had another fight again. Me and Lily have had couple, nothing really major. Um, I mean, for the most part of a year, it was like two, and one of them led to us being a two or three, and one of them led to us being a couple. So like officially, official. You said you script a new story. Got it. Yeah, pretty. Yeah, write a script, write a new story. But like you said earlier, Nan, going to the end. Go to the end where you're not even acknowledging it. Remember, where attention goes, energy flows. So don't give attention to what you don't want. Give attention to what you do want, and trust it. Old thoughts come up. Remove your attention from immediately. If you can't escape that thought, go do something to take your mind off of it. And with that, now I love you guys very much. Keep your heads up. Write questions in the videos. I'll see them. And I'll make videos on them. Write what you want me to make videos on. Join the Discord. Send me DMs on Instagram, flex_Lassiter. Check my link tree. Send me an email. Book a session on Calendarly. They're still discounted. Whatever way you want. There's a million ways to contact me if you look. I try to make it simple, but I'll be around. So until then, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, and hear what you want. So I love you guys very much. I will see you hopefully tomorrow. If not, keep your heads up. You can't fuck this up. It's all working out in your favor. It's a wrap. Thank you. Yes, and now it is a wrap.